Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Minecraft Progression Series. In this video, I am going to be telling you guys how to get all of the achievements because they were recently introduced. Achievement 1 is open your inventory, and Achievement 2 is get wood. However, you have seen me do that many times, so let's move on with the other ones. Up next is make a workbench. To do that, you get four wood, and you put them in a little square, and you get the workbench, bench making. From there, we have three options: time to strike, time to mine, and time to farm. Let's get them all. 1 to 3. We make a hoe like this, a pick like this, and a sword like this. From here, we can get a cake and baked bread. Options, lower the sound. Thank you. First, we're going to make the bread, and then the cake. The cake itself isn't too hard to make. It's actually pretty easy. Overall, I kind of wish they made this more fun, but that's just how the game is, right? We start with this. We make the bread by putting 3 wheat together, although you've seen me make the bread before. And then bake bread. And then, of course, we have baked cake, which is done like this. Yes, I'm aware that the old way of crafting was slow by today's standards, but still, that's how we used to do it. Make a cake. Oops. Back in the day, they used to drop the buckets. So this side is done. Up next, we have get an upgrade, hot topic. So to get the upgrade, we need to use the workbench to make a furnace. And to get the upgrade itself, we need to make a stone pickaxe. Getting an upgrade. Achievements. This is done. This is done. Here we need to acquire hardware and delicious fish. So to acquire hardware, we just get this iron ore and put 2 in here. As soon as we get one of the furnace, where is it like this? Of course, as soon as we put it in, everything will be hunky-dory. The iron ingot. Acquiring hardware, ladies and gentlemen, because that is all you need to do. And of course, for my efforts, I'm going to be using this hardware to make, I guess, an iron sword, because we don't need a mine for right now. Iron sword. Achievements. Up next, delicious fish. How do we do delicious fish? It's simple. We get our fishing rod, we swing our lure, we wait a little bit of time. It shouldn't take too long. It's weird. Most people do this during the day, but not me. Not me at all. We wait for the fish to, the fishing line to go down. Not too much. Right there. Pick up our fish, and then we cook it. That's right. We cook it. You know what? I'm going to use a cobblestone here and place it underneath here. This is the achievement cake, just to have it there as decoration. Pick it up. That's delicious fish. Find that. Okay. And then up next we need cow tipper. To obtain cow tipper, you know, let's do this during the day because it's actually easier to find mobs during the day, and it's less likely to be raining. Alright. And that's why I chose to make the sword, because killing enemies is usually not very fun. Killing random mobs specifically is not very fun. Okay, I can increase the volume now because we are out of the rain. Time to go fight some cows. And what are we gonna do with cows? We need them for their leather. That's it. I don't understand why you need to do cow tipper before you can do when pigs fly, but that's how the game was coded. There should be a cow here. After all, this is, here you are, cow. This is a 2-hit. 1, 2. No leather. Run away. 1, 2. No leather. Again. 1, 2. Seriously? Are you serious? No leather from 3 cow in a row. Unbelievable. I usually have better odds. I saw some cows in here earlier. Are they still here? No. Time to move across, I guess. There should be cows on this island. There are usually enemies on this island as well. But that's during the night. Here's 2 cows on the right. Let's go after them. Come on. You know, sometimes I really curse at the fact that I can't run in old versions of Minecraft, but then again, if that's the only detriment I have, that's not too big of a complaint. It's just a little bit of speed. Anything? Nope. There it is. Cow tipper. Achievements. From here we need When Pigs Fly, Monster Hunter, but we're going to do When Pigs Fly last. For Monster Hunter, it's really simple. We are going to take a trip to my mob farm because it makes sense to do it there. It'll take a little bit to load the enemies, but other than that, it'll be really simple. Let's walk down there. Of course, if you're watching only the highlight reel, then you won't care too much about this. But if you're not watching the highlight reel and you're watching the full thing, prepare for the long run. Go down. Alright. I know this is a rather long walk, but this is what I have to walk every time. Like I said, if you are watching the highlight reel, which will be coming out today, whenever I record this, then you're in luck because you're not going to see this walk. But if you're watching the full thing, welcome. Welcome indeed. You know, I used to use music in these episodes, but what ended up happening was the sound mixing was really bad, so until I can learn to edit more effectively, I'm going to stop using music and practice on my own time. This is the first mob farm in this world. We just need to let them load. We're on hard mode, correct? Yes, we are. Okay. One of them spawned. Excellent. So now we just wait here. Effectively, if I just want the resources, I'll stand here and wait for them to fall. Although, if you've been watching this Let's Play, then you know that's the case. However, for those of you who are just new and incoming, we'll stand here, let them fall because they still take fall damage, and we spam click. This should be enough to kill them. And if not, then we'll try again. I can't believe it took that many cows to get the cow tipper achievement. Come on. I know it doesn't take that long. Oops. Okay, I know that the point of this sign was to stop me from getting caught up in the water, but still. I think I could have done a better job. The way that this mob farm works is it takes them up a rise until eventually they fall down and take a decent chunk of health damage. That way when they get here, the farm doesn't clog itself for a long time. Just for a little bit. Okay? And I understand that waiting around is not the most exciting gameplay, but at the end of the day, it's something that has to happen if we want to make things correct, if we want to succeed. Because sometimes, I mean just sometimes, not all the time, you need to be patient. Patience is a virtue, although you need to be able to tell when you've waited for too long and when to cut your losses. That's the sunk cost fallacy. Some people believe that, oh, if you stay the whole time, eventually they're going to shut up. Not always. But if you know how to wait for certain things and you know that they're going to arrive, more power to you. I have to say that means you have more patience than the average American in the current day. What else? I decided to drop my basic inventory for this simply because I figured it'd be more fun to do so. Because having my full inventory for this is probably a bit weird, I have to say. And now we have a full block. That's good. Okay, there's a skeleton. Oh, I missed it. But what's going to happen is we're going to get more skeletons because this is not the only skeleton that shows up. Okay. Because the way that this farm works is they take them up and down and they eventually start to clog this farm. And once they clog the whole farm, life gets easier. But sometimes one can be an overachiever and appear way too quick to play. And that's also fine. There's the second one, although he didn't take damage. That one took damage. Yeah, just rush him. Monster Hunter, baby, let's go! Okay. We're getting out of here. Let's throw the arrows. Okay. And of course, if you watch this Let's Play, you know I'll occasionally just stand here and get arrows, but if you're just here for the achievements, you don't need to worry about it anymore. Walking, walking, walking. What's next? Achievements. Monster Hunter done. So we have 2 more left. When Pigs Fly and On a Rail. I can finally say that I have joined the ranks of Ant Venom, iGevin, and Amelia Watson. How? Because like them, I also built a super long railway in my Minecraft world. That's right. That's what I'm comparing myself to, just because I mined for a bunch of hours. This hoe did nothing because I never had to use it. I'll admit, it feels odd not carrying around a lot of armor and weapons. But sometimes you have to accept the fact that not everything requires armor and weapons. Now for this, I'm going to switch the game to peaceful because I don't want to have to walk back, and that's really the only reason. So this is just to save us time. Options, peaceful. Because when I was testing this earlier, the mobs, like creepers, would spawn on the minecart rail and blow it up. But that's not what we want. We want to show it off legitimately because it's cool and fun. The way we do this is we get on and we enjoy the scenery. Okay? Very cool scenery from beginning to end. This is a very patient section, and in fact, part of me is tempted to just put in some really relaxing music during this, but I also think that I'm able to talk long enough for the whole thing to go on. It shouldn't be too long. I know that watching us go in a straight line is not the most entertaining of content. However, I think I can spice it up by giving you dynamic camera angles. Yes. Look at that chunk error, okay? That chunk error is huge, and I love it. Now, this is where it all comes down to testing. Does the player suffocate in glass in old versions of Minecraft? Let's check. Part of me thinks no. 3, 2, 1. Amazing, I was correct. I know that it bugs out, but trust me, this is for our own good, because when we didn't do that, what ended up happening was pigs and cows and chickens would get in here. They would spawn in here and send us all the way back. It was really annoying. I also grossly underestimated just how much gold and iron I had to mine. Remember, every 16, no, my bad, not every 16. Every 18 of these is worth 2 gold and 12 iron. And I had to multiply this over a pretty long amount. And I haven't tested correctly if this is enough. All I know is that if I do the whole thing, I should get enough time on the route. However, it's possible, sadly, that my math could be wrong. And if my math is wrong, then I'm going to be a very sad guy. Because that means I need to do more mining, and I don't want to do more mining. I've already done enough mining in this Let's Play. But if it turns out that I need to do more mining, then so be it. Okay, we did it. On a rail. What does that mean? It means that we have one last achievement to get. And that last achievement is When Pigs Fly. How do we get a Pigs Fly, though? The sad truth is that unless you have the minecart system also tethered to a drop system, this is a pretty luck-based achievement. And I hate to say this, but there's a good chance that this will take a long time. And the reason is not necessarily because I suck, okay? Sometimes I like to blame things on the fact that, sometimes I just suck at games. But this time, I think I can do better. Okay? I really do. And since we're on peaceful mode, I believe, yes, we are, this shouldn't take too much longer. Why do I say that? Well, the answer's simple. We're going to push a pig off a cliff, click him with the saddle, and get on at the same time. This is pretty risky because I have a limited number of saddles. But I believe that with enough patience, we can succeed in our endeavor. That's right, our endeavor. But first, I need to obtain sleep in this game. And to do that, I'm going to get the bed that's over there. Alright. The bed's right there, and I've been using this to construct this. This will become... Oh shit. What a fool I am. No! Did I lose my minecart for real? Oh, I messed up. I lost the minecart. Unless it's up here. That'd be great if it was. And I don't have a... Oh, I do have a bucket. Okay. We use a bucket. We get up here, and we move on with our life. That was embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? Sometimes in life, you get embarrassed because you do something bad. In this case, I made a mistake. I accidentally misclicked the game. I didn't mean to do that. When you want to exit a minecart, right-click because it sends you up one block. If you just break it, you can fall to the floor because it's not thick enough. You have to learn that the hard way sometimes, sadly. But that's life, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is very fun. And I love this game to death, okay? This game is so good. Still, I'm glad I can finally join those three in the super long minecart expedition extravaganza video. How many hours did Amelia spend on that railroad? Like 6? Well, like 12, honestly. She spent forever on that railroad. And Venom just kind of showed us a railroad. I don't think he ever showed himself building it. I Yevon has a really cool season 2 that I recommend watching. It's called I Yevon Survival Season 2. Give it a watch. It's pretty good. It's from back in the day, though. So there will be some minor cursing. But if you're on my channel and you're cool with me, then you're fine. If you're not on my channel, I don't know what you're doing here watching this video. I guess you want to learn how to get the achievements, but I'm pretty sure this conversation is going to be cut out from the full video. We get up all the way and find a nice little cliff that we believe a pig is on. And money tells me that the pig is here. As always, thanks to all of my PvP exploits, I know that we can scale with water buckets. Okay, take 4. I was originally recording this a while back. However, in attempt number 1, so the original recording, so what you're seeing in the footage, what ended up happening was after the doorbell rang, my recording kept going, and I did keep going with the game. If you're wondering who rang, it was a door-to-door salesman. Why was there a door-to-door salesman in May of 2022? I have no idea, but apparently they still exist. Good to know. Besides that point, what ended up occurring was the audio for the video just vanished. The game audio is still there, but my microphone audio and a decent chunk of the video itself is just gone. As for what happened to it, I honestly could not tell you. What I ended up doing was separating it into two files, and then combining the 2 files, which left a black screen in the video for a few minutes. I then edited out that black screen. So this is going to be one of the few times that the Progression Series episode also has a fair bit of editing in it. And I would like to know from here on out, do you guys prefer this style of commentary wherein I do a post commentary, or would you rather me keep going with the live commentary video? The advantages of the post commentary is that I can gather my thoughts without having to worry about playing, and I don't have to worry about editing out the sound of the keyboard. Personally, I like the sound of the keyboard because it reminds me of those older Minecraft videos that I grew up watching. However, I know that not everyone is an enthusiast with my borderline typewriter-esque keyboard. That's not a joke, by the way. I had an issue with previous keyboards wherein I typed so hard that the keys would break. So I decided to get a keyboard custom made by WASD, and what I ended up doing was requesting that the keys be made with metal, the same kind of metal that typewriters used to use from the 60s, which means that no matter how hard I type, there's no way I'm breaking this keyboard.
As for the advantages of staying with live commentary, that would be that I can get my thoughts across in the moment, and I can explain what I'm doing at the time of doing it, rather than trying to guess what I've been doing, because this is the 4th time that I've tried to record this audio. The first time was a failure. I attempted one more time, and then I realized that I was recording my speakers, so I just recorded the game audio again. On take number 3, the audio file got corrupted, and even after all of that, it was a pretty boring file. Okay? The commentary in that one involved more whispering than episode 1. In addition, there was a lot of yelling from universitarians, and you could hear motorcycles in the background, so I figured it's a good thing that audio number 3 was corrupted. Otherwise, I was honestly tempted to just upload audio 3, but I'm not going to do that to a lot of you. Just because I can't, not because I couldn't. I really would have kept it in. When I said earlier in the main video, that recording the pig achievement was likely going to take the longest, I was not kidding. This is likely the first time I've ever done the pig achievement myself. Historically, and I still have messages. Those pricks. Whatever. Historically, by the way, I'm letting you know, it's like 2 in the morning right now. I don't know why people are messaging me, but sure. Okay. A lot of you don't care about that, so I'm going to ignore it. What I'm trying to say is that I've never done the pig achievement prior to this recording session in my own survival world. I've done it on friends' survival worlds before. I've gotten the achievement, but it's usually because a friend invited me saying, hey, do you want the achievement? And I would join the world, get the achievement, and then dip out. Because, quite honestly, when I was a young child, I was nowhere near as patient as I am today. After all, I made a 1,000 long railcart track twice. Once in Season 1 and once in the Progression series. As for what's going on in the video right now, I misspelled fall in Spanish, caete. However, I wrote as caite, which is not a word, or at least not a word that I know. So what I ended up doing in this video to mitigate that is I replaced it to caerás, which is the future tense of you will fall in Spanish. And then for whatever reason, I decided to write the rude command form of fall in Japanese using Roman text, uchiro, which if you really want to tell someone to go fall, you'd be like, what's stick with a sigh or something. But that's a really weird thing to tell them to do. And this is where I realized that the pig is a lot harder to do the achievement for than I originally anticipated. As a matter of fact, the hardest part of this achievement was not even getting the pig to get in there or getting the pig to fall. The hardest part of the achievement was controlling my cursor once I was already on the pig. Because fun fact, the pig actually controls your cursor. I was not aware of that. Because of that, we are going to have some issues with these pigs. As a matter of fact, I could have finished it here if I just wasn't stupid. But being a human as I am prone to folly. It's not something that I particularly enjoy about my species. However, I need to point out the fact that that was completely my fault. Honestly, I have no one to blame for that one but myself. I really should have just dug a little deeper, gotten on the pig, then placed the water. But I know what I was thinking in the moment. I was thinking that the pig would be able to resist a little longer than that. As for what I'm about to do, and that is to take out and replace the water over and over again throughout a period of time, is because every time the pig oinked, I was concerned that it was possible the pig was drowning. And that could have been very bad. As for the release schedule of some videos, because I need to talk about that, well, I don't need to talk about it, but I figured it's easier to talk about it in a sense where the scheduling makes sense. The reason I decided to cut Yu-Gi-Oh! The Let's Play the way I did is because people aren't going to watch 2-hour streams of me playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not big enough to get a 2-hour stream watched. It wasn't even streamed, it was pre-recorded, everything was done, and then I just upload the video. The truth is, I'm not a big enough channel for this, okay? I'm not Picasspray, which lets you know like how small I really am. And especially, I'm not Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. You know, I really like his content. He made some cool Master Duel videos. Although I really wish he continued his Go Rush Let's Play on YouTube. Whatever, not Go Rush Let's Play. His Psycho Battle Royale Let's Play on YouTube, or what was it called in the English version? Dawn of the Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale, something like that, something along those lines. How's that? But that's besides the point. I know for a fact that I do not have the community at the current moment, especially with only, let me see, how many subscribers I have, because I haven't checked my channel. Ignore that. That was the Blade Double review. I really think I can edit it out, but I highly doubt it. I have 26 subscribers, and once again, I'm saying thank you to every single one of you for subscribing to me. Interesting. My video part 15 of the progression series has 93 views, and then part 24 of Legacy Duelist has 40 views. Okay, that's cool. As you can see, I do not have anywhere near enough of an established base to get any of the views. And some people who, if you watched season 0 of my Minecraft Let's Play, one, thank you. Because quite honestly, season 0 of the Minecraft Let's Play was designed to be a test run of Minecraft. Because I was planning on making it my go-to world for the rest of it. However, I realized something at some point in episode 8, Welcome to Where Good Intentions Lead or Pave the Way to, I forget the title of the episode, that because I started the world in 1.18.2, I would forever be lumped in with the new creators. And while it's true that I am technically a new creator on the platform in terms of the channel, when it comes down to actually having been on YouTube, this isn't my first account. My first account was, I don't even remember the name. It was my name followed by some word. I don't even remember what word it was. And then I realized that that's gonna look really bad in the future. So I made a second channel called Miguel Santa Maria. I don't think I uploaded anything on that channel, and it makes sense why I didn't. You know, the original channel has been since deleted years ago because one, I was not old enough to have a channel at that point. And I did mention in season years that I was on some random Xbox multiplayer gameplay. However, upon further inspection, such gameplay no longer ceases to exist on the platform. It makes sense to some extent. The videos had some pretty raunchy language, even for like little kids to be saying, to the point where I'm pretty sure that if I try to upload today, I could boot it from the platform, because this was back in the days before people got offended by everything. I really want to figure that out. Why are people so offended nowadays? I mean, seriously, we were literally a generation that grew up with Simpsons, Family Guy, and South Park. You know, we grew up seeing, let's see here, like Afghanistan War, the War on Terror, the War on Drugs. We saw the South Korean War. What other wars did we see? A lot of wars, really, started by presidents in our lifetime. They were going after Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, all those really bad people. Okay, not to say that anything was good. No. These were some bad dudes. Okay, just to let everyone know where I stand here. A lot of times people were bad, and I realize that I'm practically talking abstract nonsense into the video, but at the same time, looking at the actual footage, it's not the most entertaining footage in the world. What ended up happening was I lost my mind, really. This was so monotonous. But back to what I was saying, I don't understand why people are so offended, why people are so damaged by an alternate point of view. Now, I understand saying slurs getting you removed off the platform. Now, we actually, I'm not going to lie to you, you know, little 12-year-old me said a lot of bad things. As I think most people who were prior to being, you know, teenagers can confer. A lot of us have said some pretty wild, pretty over the top, to the point where it's more than just being edgy. At that point, you're just being deranged almost. That's besides the point. Once again, I'd like to remind you, everyone, how late it is right now. Again, I'm still getting messages. Universitarians, they'd never sleep, do they? Never. Then again, I really should have gone to sleep a long time ago, but I won't stand by it. I refuse. This will not take more than 4 recording sessions. I really hope it doesn't, because it would be really sad if it does. Besides the point, back to the whole people getting offended thing. When did this begin? Okay? I understand that the movements, like political correctness movement and all those other movements started like way back then, but it was never this open. I think it's when social media became, I want to say, monetized or open to advertisers. I mean, it's always been open to advertisers to my knowledge, but what I mean monetized is in like to individuals. Because prior to, say, machinima realms on, let's say, YouTube, for example, it was really hard to actually get money off this platform. YouTube.com did not really offer a partnership. Instead, if you wanted money, you had to team up with groups of people. The most famous one, considering I'm playing Minecraft in relation to this series, is machinima. I know. I know for a fact that I took a break from the internet, but it wasn't even that long of a break that I took. I mean, seriously. Once more, I understand that we can't say the things that we used to say to some extent, right? I'm still like pro free speech. I am very big on people being allowed to say what they want. If they want to out themselves as idiots, go ahead. Back in the day, I wouldn't have said idiots. I would have said a different word. One that's currently offensive to the mentally impaired, if you understand my drift, although it used to be a scientific term, so what do I know? I'm not even kidding. When I was in middle school, some of the teachers still used that word because they were just some old heads, like really old dudes who use it to refer to the special ed students. And I get it, some people are just stuck in their ways. Things like, we never really used it as an insult growing up, around when I grew up. It was just a word that people used. So... And the reason I bring that up is because I saw what was happening with the channel called Meowba. Honestly, I understand that what Meowba said. I don't even know if Meowba's a guy or a girl, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's a dude with a voice changer, but honestly, I don't know anymore. Okay, given that I'm a universitarian, I spend time around college students. You realize that sometimes it's just hard to tell. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm really not. I'm saying this dead seriously. Some people are so androgynous that you can't tell if they're male or female. It's weird. At some point, you just stop caring. You really just do stop caring and just start calling people by their name. Because what else are you going to do? You don't want to run the risk of mischaracterizing someone. Otherwise, they'll go to an administration officer, whoever the hell runs the system, and they'll go after you. But that's life. Okay? So I feel like Frank Sinatra right now. How many times did Frank Sinatra say that's life in that song? It's a good question. And right here in the video, just to give you guys some context, because some of you are looking forward to the achievement collection, we need to obtain pigs from the land in order to put them into the hole and drop them off the cliff so that we can get the achievement. The conundrum that arises in this scenario is passive mobs tend to spawn in lit locations with grass. It's nighttime. Therefore, it is unlikely for a mob to spawn. In addition, I'm not even most likely. Why do I keep trying to say most likely? I am within 24 blocks of the spawn radius, so nothing's going to spawn there anyways. I said this in a previous video, but it stands repeating. I played a lot of Skyblock Survival as a kid, so I know how many blocks to be away for mobs to spawn in an adequate number. Wow, I'm just dating myself. I really am. Not too bad though. I also want to ask about why it seems to me that this era of the internet really likes to go against people of different ages. I see really young people harping on what they call boomers, which is fine, and I'll use the label because it makes it easier for everyone to figure out who I'm talking about. Like, you're a boomer, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, Okay, they may not know everything that the new generation is talking about because the new generation is talking about new things. But let's say the boomer people, I'm not saying that I side with any particular group, but they've been around a lot longer than I have. They've been around a lot longer than a good chunk of you have, considering that the average reviews on this channel are in their 20s, which means that they have experience. Now, I understand that some of their experience is outdated because such events no longer occur in the current world. However, any experience can be applied to new situations, so it's not a good thing that the boomers are villainized by the younger crowd. At the same time, I don't think it's a good thing that the boomers villainize the younger crowd as well. So I don't think anyone should be villainized based on their age, unless they're doing something immoral or illegal. I'm not going to say it if all of you are adults and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Besides the point, I really gotta ask, who the hell decided that this pig shit would be what we need to do to get the final achievement in Minecraft? Really? This is honestly more frustrating than I thought it was, okay? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do at this point? Oh, I'm trying to dig lower so that I can make sure the pig perishes on impact, thus assuring my acquiring of the achievement in the record book. That's right, I'm going to join Ant Venom for getting all the achievements and a few other modern content creators. Ant Venom was the first person I saw do it. I don't think Etho ever got all the achievements. If he did, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. If he did, once more, I'm pretty sure he did not, but if he did, someone send me the video, because I don't remember him doing that. I know for a fact that Minecraft Universe never did it, and Deadlocks never did it. I grew up watching a lot of content creators, so I have to know about a thing or two. I never really watched Stampy, though. That's a lie. I've seen like a few of his videos. I've seen episode 1 of his Lovely World series, and I've seen the one where Lee left. I don't even know what happened. I heard there was some like crime or some controversy that occurred, but as for any specifics, I really can't tell you because I never really watched Stampy as a kid. I said it in a different video, but he really just feels like I'm watching like a Nick Jr. show or something along those lines, and I really need to stop saying like in my sentences. It's getting annoying. I guess it's what happens when you spend time around university girls, but what can you do, right? What can you do, indeed? Also, I noticed that a lot of the university standards get lowered, and yet for some reason, my ability to keep up is weakened because when they lower the standards, they're lowering stuff that I'm good at, hard math, hard science, but they increase the stuff that I'm pretty bad at. Say, not even reading comprehension, because I can read quite well, and I comprehend it. I even show it in the Legacy Let's Play. I can read English and Japanese, and I don't show it in that, but I can also read Spanish just fine. In fact, Spanish I'm way better at because it's my first language. I just don't really have a lot of excuses to read Spanish on camera because I don't really play a lot of Spanish games. I'm not gonna lie. If anyone can recommend me a good one that's not a live service, I'd be happy to oblige, assuming that I like it, obviously. I'm not going to just get a random game that's in Spanish and just play it. That would be suboptimal of me. That would be a bit haste. And once more, I'm trying to do the multiple block difference so that I can get spawns of a passive mob onto the island where it was on. I'm pretty sure they're islands, although part of me thinks it's connected to land, as that's that direction, the beta direction, even though most of my updates in alpha were in the beta direction, most of my beta updates were in alpha, but nomenclature matters, ladies and gentlemen. Nomenclature matters. And I go back to my first point. Why are people so offended by an alternative viewpoint? I just don't get it. But I'm going to drop the subject because unless someone wants to tell me why, then there's no point in pursuing it. You can tell I'm a bit distraught at the fact that I had to record this 4 times. It's the worst. It really is. The book club is going well. We've gotten to the scene where Erika is accusing Natsuhi, and she brings out Doranoru e Nokusu. I know her name's like D-L-A. It's Ronald spelled backwards, A-K-N-O-X. But it's so funny how Erika says it. Doranoru. I don't have Erika's voice, so I can't do it properly. But those of you who've read When They Cry 4, you'll know what I'm talking about. When am I going to get the achievement? Seriously, how long did I spend just walking back and forth trying to get the mobs to spawn? I understand that it is procedurally based. It's completely luck based to some extent. Obviously, there's a way to manipulate the random number generation. However, I am not aware of how to do it, and if I was aware, I would not be effective at doing it. As well, how did they say it in Minecraft Mondays? Because I ended up watching that in 2021, 2022, way later since it came out. Like, oh, they're sweating or something. Like they have sweaty wrists. I think that's what they said. I honestly can't even be bothered to remember, because everyone just changed. You know, part of why I make the series of Minecraft the way it is, because I want to harken back to that really early Minecraft where people were just calm and relaxed. You know, think as I don't know, X's Adventures in Minecraft, Ito's Lab, and oddly enough, someone who people don't really recognize as being calm, but if you watch it from way back then, really early Skyla's Minecraft videos. Now, don't worry, I'm not an abuser. I think I need to say that because I did kind of just say that I was trying to emulate his style of video. But the thing is that I understand he was based on the allegations from what people are telling me and from what I've seen. Now, I can't prove anything because I am not there. I don't have any of the evidence with me. I'm not even going to bother looking it up because I don't care too much to do so. But it doesn't deny the fact that he got 10 million subscribers because he made genuinely entertaining content. I'm not defending his actions. In fact, if what happened is 100% true and has been proven without a shadow of a doubt, then off with him. Really, I mean, I don't really care for him. He doesn't know who I am, and I don't know who he is in person. End of story. One of those things I never understood about fans or just sycophants in general. Like, there's these people out there who would really die for certain people, and those certain people don't even know them. It's a bit strange to me. I understand fanboying or fangirling over your favorite creator, your favorite musician, your favorite artist, or some other entertainment / stimulation producer. However, going so far as to say, oh, I would die for you. Look, it's very rare if you ever hear me say that in earnest, right? There are some people that I would genuinely, take a bullet for, but I'm not going to name those people because then I don't want them targeted, and I don't want them targeted because it would mean that I'd have to live up to my word, and I'd rather not have to do it in the first place. But if I have to, I would, because we've built up such a connection that I can say that with earnest. At the same time, though, there's always the claim that you never really know till the time of it occurring. And that's always the case. I am still human. I'm prone to folly. And that's part of being a person. What the hell? That pig just said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'm a motherfucker, how the fuck this shit, I'm out. Oh, that was a classic, and I still have that saved onto my favorites list. I still play it in the car sometimes. It's so nostalgic for me. It's great. I miss the early internet. Back when there weren't too many people on there, when 100K was considered insane and unbelievable. Nowadays, people get millions, and it's Tuesday. I mean, at the time of recording, it literally is Tuesday, but that's another story altogether. We're about to get it, I promise. I didn't realize that I spent so much time talking, but it's true, okay? When I'm not trying to focus on the gameplay, but rather can just talk my mind and just enjoy myself while the image is playing in the background, it's easier to commentate. It really is. Okay, so me, thank you. So I tried to mine this cobblestone here, thinking that I could, but then I realized the little pig here is able to manipulate my camera distance. Okay, so I named this pig Wilbur after the pig in Charlotte's Web because it's just some pig, but the phrase "some pig" could have a decent amount of interpretations depending on the tone in which you read it. I really recommend giving Charlotte's Web a read. It's pretty good. I would recommend it to pretty much anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you get all the achievements. If you're watching the video of how I get all the achievements, then thank you guys so much for watching and I hope you all enjoyed. Now on to this. A lot of you who are here to watch the progression series and not the how to get the achievements video, because I'm going to separate this into two videos, the smash cut version, which is just getting the achievements in this case. I would also like to point out that there were some other updates that occurred. We got birch saplings. The pumpkin orientation was fixed, so now it faces forward as it did originally and as it currently does in the modern game. The powered rails and the connector rails, not connector rails, and the pressure rails, or whatever they're called, the ones that use a pressure pad in a redstone piece, or back in the day, I used to call them wires. Some people call them copper, but now we actually have copper, so that would be a bit misleading. I honestly kept calling it copper until, oddly enough, full release 1.6, not copper, wire until 1.6, where I just started calling it redstone because I don't even know why I started calling it redstone. I just kept calling it wires until 1.6. I don't even know why. But of course, we have to pay our respects to these fallen animals who died in the name of science, two of which, and the third one who said, "You're not going to take me alive." I know what I named them because I recorded this, but I want to see if you guys can figure out what they're named. I already gave up Wilbur. What are the other two? Give it a guess. And which one is which? Which is the first one? Which is the second one? Which is the third one? And now I'm being haunted by pigs, but that's another story. So I decided that effectively the way this channel works is I'm going to upload a few styles of games, right? Minecraft is going to be the long-running ones, the one that I don't really leave out. Legacy of Duels has already been changed to I show one duel per video so that I can go back and check individual duels when I want to. And it's just to make it easier for other people to watch them because I know not everyone has the time to sink 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 29 seconds into Legacy of the Duels Part 23. It seems Uyghur gets a license. 9 views in 3 days, and it doesn't make sense. But when I upload, say, Legacy of the Duels Part 24, it seems Xenobase, which is only 24 minutes and 11 seconds, it gets 40 views. Now, I don't really care too much about views, but what I do care about is seeing the number go up. It's not the amount, it's I like to see things go, because one of the things that I don't like is downward projection. In the next episode, we're going to be eating these pigs. The one on the right is the one that's unnamed, and the one on the left is Wilbur. What am I doing? Oh, I'm making signs to tell you their names. I would also like to point out that when preparing for beta 1.6, I ended, again, it's super late at night, why are people still messaging me? I ended up dying a few times to mobs while I was getting the string. It's a bit embarrassing, I know, but that's what happens. It really is what happens. Regardless, it was a pretty fun experience, nonetheless. We still need to pay our respects to the dead. We can't enable them to have a good ending. Of the one in the middle, considering how he went out through self-inflicted damage, I can't enable him to have a good ceremony. Now, if you want to go out in a respectful funeral with me, you gotta go out for some reason other than you got rid of yourself. I know it seems a bit callous, but the truth is that if you celebrate those who get rid of themselves willingly, you inspire others to do the same. There was this high school back in, I don't even remember what state it was, but some kid, he committed the big oh no, and got this giant festival, and there was this whole thing, and then another kid was inspired to do the same thing, and he wrote a letter saying, give me a celebration as big as his, but the school didn't do that, and since then, the issue with self-deletion has been removed and resolved. That was a bit heavy, but it's true, okay? Now, I'm not going to go as far as a certain other member of my family who just believes you forget them. The truth is that everyone's going to be forgotten after a while. Some will take longer than others. Right here, I'm thinking of a quote. I couldn't really come up with one, so I decided to just use this one, which was, I think it's Charlotte's quote, if I remember correctly. And this is the one where I decided to name him Technoblade. Because Techno never dies to a player. He does die in piston parkour, though, if you watch that video. I don't even watch Technoblade, just that my brother, who's not related by blood, does watch his videos. He even uses the same skin as him, and he told me about it, and just showed me him dying to the failed landing, not even the piston stuff. It was pretty funny, but once more, it is just not the type of content that I would like to watch, personally. What else? I'm trying to think of this one. No, I already know what it is. It's actually pretty cool. For context, I had been reading Animal Farm recently. Yep, I named it Napoleon. Some animals are more equal than others, but I couldn't fit it, so I had to move it up one line. Okay, some animals are more equal than others. Never forget, 4 legs good, 2 legs better. I will work harder, and Napoleon is always right. And those of you who actually read Animal Farm are probably weeping. I never understood that, though. I've always been able to separate fact from fiction. But these days, I swear, when people take sad scenes in fiction to a limit, I understand tearing up, okay? But to the point where it affects you psychologically after years or since reading it, that's when you need to really make sure you're okay, because that could be some real problems in the future. Which leads me to talking about this one TikTok lawyer who's supposedly depressed and got a bunch of support. I understand supporting someone who's having a hard time, but you shouldn't glorify it. I'm old enough to remember when people who had pain but worked through it and succeed in spite of it were celebrated. Now it's people like, oh, I give up because it's not good for mental health, so you're quitting. Effectively, you're being celebrated for it. Now, I understand you need to have some level of respect for your own mind, okay? Your mind is your most valuable asset next to, say, everything else. Because without your mind, you're doomed. Still, I'm not really sure. It is still a bit depressing that I had to record this 4 times. Honestly, I'm not in the very best of moods right now. I'm doing a really good job of hiding it, at least I think I am, but I'm actually quite aggravated. I'm infuriated, so I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed.